Sriman kept a very long Instagram story saying that you are using my fame for your own personal benefits. I think that had it for me, and I never wanted to utilize anyone's personal gains for my personal gains. Everyone thinks that, including me, I think that I'm mature enough to ride a bike.
Yeah.
But after owning one, after going on a ride with an experienced rider, that's when he gave me a bashing of my life, saying that that's not how you ride. That's where I learned from rider to rider.
Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome back to our podcast. Today we have Srujan Bharadwaj from the Two Brother Vlogs.
Thank you so much for having
me. The better half, or I don't know what to call it.
Equal halves.
So, long story short, this was, I think, how many years ago was the street triple?
When I purchased
2015?
Yeah, 2015.
2015, I was in college. I used to ride a TVS scooty, and Srujan had just bought a Triumph Street Triple RS, right?
No, S.
Tab
tak RS was not launched. Yeah. It was only the S.
And I used to see him in YouTube videos and stuff. And this one time I saw him at the petrol pump and we happened to have a small conversation. And that's when I was like, I want to get this bike someday. And here we are in conversation with him. So for the people who are unaware, a little bit about yourself.
So hi, my name is Srujan Bharadwaj, and I have a YouTube channel called Two Brother Vlogs. We run it together with my brother, who's Rohit. Unfortunately, he's not here right now, but probably in the future videos, he will definitely join you. And yes, I am 29 years old. I'm self-employed. I have multiple businesses, slightly occupied. Multiple bikes and slightly occupied. Because of that, I ride my bike less. But when I do, I ride a lot.
Yes. So let's discuss bikes first. So the current collection in your garage.
So including both me and my brother, we have 4 bikes, 1 scooter.
Mm-hmm.
So the oldest is Triumph Truxton R. The second one is Honda Africa Twin DCT 1000cc CRF 1000. And the third one is Ducati Multistrada 1260S. And the fourth one is Ducati Panigale V2 White Rosso. And the fifth scooter is Suzuki Bergman, my daily driver.
And now the EV, of course.
EV, right? Yeah.
First month you rode what, 3,000 kilometers on it?
Yeah, right now 3 months, close to 4 months, 10,000 kilometer mark.
So a complete garage, you can say, like an ideal, not a dream, but like an ideal garage to have.
Ideal garage. There are, if
it's never ending.
It's never ending. Yeah. We want a good cruiser as well.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Cruiser already?
To
There's add 15 more years for you to get there.
Yeah, but just to add into the collection. I'm a sucker for the BMW R18. One crazy looking bike. So hopefully in future, probably 2-3 years down the line.
So that means we have to stay good friends if I want to try it out then.
Always.
So let's quickly dive a little bit more deeper into the bikes and the whole story of how biking happened to you.
Okay. So my first bike, even before I know how to ride a bike, my father gave me a Pulsar 220F.
The fared one.
The fared one. I was the fastest Indian. So, so on that bike, I started to learn how to ride a bike. Rohit sikhaya mujhe.
Okay.
So after that, I eventually upgraded to a KTM RC390. That was again the first generation. That was one of the first bikes launched in AP Telangana. And after owning it for like 1 year, I left India for my higher education. Rohit was still here, and at that time there was a big boom in the Indian market where they've started to recognize what are super bikes or what are big capacity bikes. I won't say super bikes, but big capacity bikes. So that's when he purchased the Benelli 600i and sold my KTM. Unfortunate story. I still scold him for this because if my KTM was there till now, I think I would have kept it. Lovely bike, not the Benelli. So yeah, that's how it started. And from Benelli, eventually we upgraded to what the V2, the latest.
Yes. Explain to us the entire journey of how you finally, decide you want a bike, select which one, get it home, and what happens when you finally have to sell it and let it go. Being a biker, that's the most painful thing. If we had it in our control, we'd keep every bike that we purchase.
True.
But
So the way recent incident, for example, when I got the Panigale V2, I had to sell my Triumph Street Triple. So what happened? I never wanted to sell, but because lack of funds, I didn't wanted to ask money in my house and all. Because this is something about my passion where you don't want it to. And for that bike, I was getting a good X amount, and it was hard pressing, but I had to sell. But whenever there's a chance, or whenever a friend gets a Street Triple, I give away my bike to ride that at least for like good 50 to 100 kilometers. Any breakfast ride, I hop onto the Street Triple. And fortunately, the person whom I sold my Street Triple lives very close to my place.
Oh, nice.
Message him, I can see my bike. But yeah, I have ridden that bike, my Street Triple, quite a lot. 35,000 kilometers. So
35,000 kilometers.
when I sold it, I driven 35,000 in 4 years of ownership of that bike. I've done Hyderabad to Leh and back on that. The bike came in multiple parts, but I fixed it up and I started to do again.
Speaking of that, I think yours was the first Africa twin to have a broken handlebar also.
I think all over the world. No. So my bike went to the showroom with the broken handlebar. It was done while shipping the bike from Delhi to Hyderabad. Even the showroom, the manager, the service head, everyone shocked. They put up a mail to Honda Japan that how can a handlebar break into two parts? It might bend or it might deform. But braking, that's some manufacturing defect or it had a very bad fall. So I don't know what R&D went. Luckily, I got my insurance. Everything is sorted.
They didn't replace it for free?
Insurance. They won't replace it. Anything for free.
So how is your experience between having an ADV, a Neo Retro, a street bike, and also a classic, the Thruxton? Where does your heart really lie?
See, the thing is, I'm always with the Thruxton. It's a go-to bike for everything and whatever you want to do. So take it in the city, you are the cool dude, you're the Uber dude. Take it on the highway, that bike is quite firm. Take it on track, it has that stiff suspension. But again, do you want to tour on that? No. But because I tour quite a lot, Africa Twin is the best thing which I purchased. There are multiple better bikes right now in the market, but as I speak, I don't see the need of it. I have ample power. The bike takes me quite a lot of places. So until it's broken or I'm fed up of the bike, it's taking me to places. So I'm happy. Even though with less power compared to the newer markets, like 1250 GS and all, you don't travel 200 kilometers per hour on our streets. Maximum what you do is 100, 120 and you tour in that. My bike is comfortable doing it and get a good mileage too.
How much do you get out of it?
22.
For a DCT, that's amazing.
For a DCT, for a 1000cc bike, I am getting 22. That's quite decent.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about the happening part in the motorcycling industry right now. The hot 400cc market right now, with the Triumph coming out with the Scrambler 400X, the Speed 400X, the Harley coming out with the 400X.
Thing is, when the Triumph launched their bike, I was like, yep, they'll price it around 3 lakh mark. That's like showroom. And once they have come up with a price of like what, 2.7 or something? Yeah, 2.7. Yeah. I understood that it's going to be a very hard task for the Harley to go. Even before the Harley coming into the market, they killed it.
Yeah.
People are probably jumping to the Triumphs. See, Triumph, right now I have not ridden the bike, but looking at the spec sheets, first thing, it's not a Dominar engine. It's a completely ground up new engine. But it cannot be compared to a Duke. People are actually comparing it to a Duke 390. Duke is much faster. Triumph is probably more solid built than a Duke.
But what do you have to say about how slowly these big brands are bringing in smaller cc engines into the market? Because let's just accept the fact big bikes don't make money for the showrooms.
Don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
So they are having to come down to the 300cc, 400cc, right?
Yeah.
So within the biking community, for example, a lot of big bike owners, let's just say I purchase since you're speaking about Triumph, I purchase a 1200cc Tiger.
Okay.
I pay big bucks for it. That's the top of the line flagship. That's the best you can buy from Triumph, right? Now I have that pride in that big machine that I have bought. Now, a lot of these people, these young kids can, maybe save up or ask their parents and get like a 3 lakh 400cc bike. Many people I know are not liking that fact that that same badge is going into every household. So how much do you think it is impacting that brand's image?
See, it's business end of the day. See, big bikes, they don't big bucks for any manufacturer. So BMW come up with TVS. Triumph is with Bajaj. Ducati, as of now, there's no small. I don't think so. They are, see, more Italians. They are more into passion than making more of money, like the Germans and English. So for me personally, I don't mind. It's like, if these young audience, they tend to ride with us, if they understand how to ride well, then we can teach them to probably upgrade to a bigger bike. But these young riders, most of them, they don't know how to ride properly. They wear probably Bata Chappal or Crocs and no helmet, and they just, I don't know, if they see any biker they themselves, they put up their arms and they start squids. Yeah, that's the right word. Squid is the correct word. So probably teaching young people how to ride safer, not faster.
Speaking of which, I don't see any good driving school over here. Not like a driving school to teach you how to ride a bike, but how to professionally ride a bike on the highways and all. Like, for example, in the US, Champ School is very famous. Yeah. So something like that should exist in the market right now.
Eventually it will, because Indian market is growing quite a lot. People are getting interested in biking and touring and going out, adventuring out. So I think eventually there'll be a school where how to brake properly. Everyone can throttle, but braking is a big thing.
I say this to people. A lot of people know how to do this. They don't know how to do this.
Yeah, they don't know when to brake or when to take a call that your bike can do the overtake and all. So that's when a lot of accidents happen. And that's a misconception with KTMs, because there are a lot of KTMs where people just bought a KTM 390 or a 200 Duke. That's a quite powerful machine for the price what they're giving. So they tend to rip out the bike and don't know how to control the throttle. That's how, there should be something. Eventually it will.
Since we're speaking about KTM riders, a lot of people don't realize that outside of India, that brand is a legendary brand.
Yes.
KTM has a lot of respect globally. But because of the so-called Chapri riders, it's gotten a very bad name in India.
So it's not only with KTM, it's with
Kawasaki.
All the Honda. You see, for example, I ride a Honda Africa Twin. People come up to me, ye kya hai? Honda Activa Twin. That's how they read it. Okay. So that bike is a Dakar winner. Honda as a brand, MotoGP, there's Marc Marquez who's world famous. Yes. So awareness is secondary. But if you want to keep all that thought aside, if you just want to invest your money in a product which you're getting, then that's how you should buy. You should not look at brand value. I mean, India has a brand value. See, I know a lot of people, for example, they have, let's say, 1 CR in the bank account. They don't mind living in a rented house, but they want to buy a BMW because you are roaming. But our father's generations, they had 1 CR in their bank account. They will always look at investing in some place where that will appreciate. But right now, we want some BMW car where it will showcase our wealth, even though we are rich or not. So India is that brand value conscious.
And also a price sensitive market, right? Which is why brands like KTM came into the market with small bikes, not the bigger bikes.
Still, we don't have the bigger ones.
Yeah, we don't have the 1290. I think now we have the 790.
Unfortunately, all the bigger ones are made in India as well, except for the Super Dukes and all.
Yeah, true.
The 790s, the KTM 790 Adventure, 790 Duke, the 890 right now are made in India. They are not sold in India.
So how should number one, decide whether they are fit and mature enough to get a big bike? After that, I want you to explain how does one decide what category of bike to go for?
So the thing is, everyone thinks that, including me, I think that I'm mature enough to ride a bike.
Yeah.
But after owning one, after going on a ride with an experienced rider, that's when he gave me a bashing of my life, saying that that's not how you ride. That's where I learned from rider to rider. And that's how I have my own unique riding style. It's different from person to person, or whatever bike you have. Probably even it's a scooter, just understand whether you can want to go on that scooter to a long ride, at least for a breakfast. I mean, let's say it's a 100-kilometer ride. Try to go on your scooter. You'll probably understand whether you can do it or not, and probably tag along with someone who's experienced. He will teach you how to. You can do this. You can sit on the saddle for 1 hour straight without any butt ache. So if you can do that, you'll eventually learn how to do it. If you can do that, then probably selecting a bike will always be your own thought. Do you like a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650? That's one end of the spectrum. You like the KTM 390? That's one end of the spectrum. But you need to understand which one you like. I think you need to test drive both of them, and then you'll understand.
But also the purpose of purchase also might help.
Purpose also changes, definitely. If you want to tour, so for example, if you want to take the Royal Enfields, the Twins and the Meteor 650, if you want to ride predominantly in the city, you're a college going kid and you want a bike from home, college, tuition, home, then I think the GT 650 is a good bet. Yeah. But no, you want to slightly tour and all, where you want little upright riding position. You don't want to hurt your back, because back and your butt area and your traps. So those hurt. Interceptor with a touring windscreen is slightly better, which it can does both of them. No, if you want to only tour on the bike, then Meteor 650 is slightly better. Then again, if you want to do little off-roading where you want that only commanding position with all the luggage you want to keep, then probably wait for the Himalayan 650.
So you've ridden almost every brand that we at least get in India.
Yeah.
Every type of engine. L-twin, V2, V4,
yes.
3-cylinder, 4-cylinder, everything. What's your personal preference?
You can know my personal, because the bikes which we have, I am more into twins. Singles, they vibe a lot. Twins, they have good torquey vibe to it. Triple cylinders also I like. They are a mix of 4 and twin. Again, 4-cylinder bikes, I'm slightly if it's an inline 4, I'm not a fan of inline 4, because you need to rev quite a lot. The bandwidth is like close to 10,000 RPM where you get a peak power, and you don't have to rev so much in city limits. So if it's a 4-cylinder bike, then I'll probably go for a V4 or something like that. So anything twin oriented, I'm happy.
Even an L-twin?
Yeah.
You're okay with the knocking?
I'm okay with the boxer twin as well. But I don't like the boxer twins configuration. It always hits my shin.
It hurts a lot.
It hurts a lot.
You cannot ride in like normal shoes.
No, never. Again, not a fan of the 1250.
So with your YouTube channel, first I want to know what made you start it.
So it all started off in the first lockdown. Both of us, me and my brother, were bored. We didn't know what to do. We had one small handy cam.
Yeah.
Again, it had one small mic attached to it, and we started vlogging through it. And slowly and eventually we wanted to it was never into monetization, though yes, I accept I made little money through YouTube, but it was never into that, I need to make my livelihood through YouTube. It was more or less like giving awareness. And again, till now, whatever content which we did, it is not for the money. It is always for putting the word out, because we are not much into vlogging or making a lot of content. I just wanted to clean state content. That's how my videos are.
They're
what
very
I wanted
raw. To come down to everything that you do, it either has some information to give, or it has some thought that you leave it with, so that the person starts thinking about it.
True.
Like I think your second last video before the trip, when you guys were speaking about the new project that you're currently working on.
Yes.
Like you said, every year you guys want to push. Every year you want to start a new business.
Yes.
Do something new. So like, for example, if an 18-year-old kid is watching that, even though he's very far from reality, watching this makes him feel like, if he can, I should do it.
Definitely. I mean, all through till now, let's say after my education, like I started going to office. Then we started YouTube. I mean, lockdown happened and we started YouTube. Then we came up with a clothing thing. After that, the new industry which I'm looking at. So See, being in one place, I mean, it's always boring, right? One job. And again, keeping money in one basket is again wrong. So try to diversify.
Yeah.
And for me, Rohit is not in the family business.
Okay.
So he's a pilot and he wants to be a pilot, and that's about it. So I am into the business market.
Yeah. So, which also makes me want to ask you this. It's a very rare, but a very beautiful relation that you and your brother share. Ever since day one, I've seen it. I'm sure there might be differences on some things, but I have never seen you guys like. I know there's much more to life than what we see on our screens, but sometimes you can just look at a relation and tell, like.
So yeah, I mean, see,
there's that mutual understanding. Like sometimes when I feel so. When he does not agree because he's the elder one, you kind of understand there, and then vice versa happens.
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And see, we never, fought. Verbal misunderstandings were there. I mean, still happens at times.
Yeah.
So we try to understand each other because, see, once we fight, I know that my brother will take probably 1 hour to come back to his normal senses, and he knows that if I'm mad, I take 3 days to come to my normal senses. So I think we both understand each other in that sense, and we try to keep family first.
Yeah, I've always seen that you guys are very less with friends and more with family.
Yeah, we keep family first.
So speaking of the whole family and friends things, a lot of things have been going on social media with regards to you and your other riding friends like Sriman and everyone. So I have been watching all you guys videos since when I was in college, when I couldn't afford a bike on my own. So for me, Hyderabad's, or at least South India's motovlogging scene has been all of you guys. Even the guys in your group who didn't vlog, we all know them because all of you hung out together. Now, many a times it would so happen that even when all of you guys were cohesive and close to each other, you guys don't meet for 2 days, comments would start. Where is he? Where is this other person? Where is that other person? Is there a fight? Touch wood, there were no issues then.
So again, to be very honest, back then we were close friends. I mean, see, not everything goes on YouTube is true. YouTube is more or less like, for example, with my channel, I shoot, I edit, I put the content out. So I cut a lot of things in this. This might be me hanging out with friends. This me hanging out with some other person. But I tend to cut it out. So when that happens, people think that it didn't happen. So first thing we with Sriman and all, it's originated with this matter itself. Because we were not in the videos, people used to point out that why aren't you meeting? And back then we were normal friends. I mean, nothing happened. Just that he did not, or some person did not put it on YouTube. And comments kept flooding in. Private space was, invaded quite a lot. A lot of blame went on to me and my brother. A lot of people said mean things to us as well. When nothing happened. And when something happened, I mean, eventually something happened because we wanted to solve, or something happened, it couldn't, materialize. Distance was already apparent. Because of that, I mean, as you can see, I mean, my life, little part of my life is actually public. So because of that, I lost a couple of friends. I mean, we used to hang out quite a lot. Now, no. And it is only me, my brother, and Kishore, if you guys know. So we are the 3 ones who were pretty much left out in that sense. And yeah, we tend to make new friends. I mean, that's life, right?
Yeah. But would you want to, maybe if you're okay, elaborate on what exactly went down? Because as viewers, when you are so adapted to seeing these particular bunch of guys hang out together and have fun, irrespective of the whole fact that there's more to life than just what we see, when something like this happens, as viewers, even we feel like, okay,
it all started with very small, minute stuff. So what happened? The same things were, like I said earlier, called out of comments, and I approached and I told him, see, I think we need to address, because unnecessarily me and my brother, we as in me and my brother, see, we're getting blamed and people are pointing finger at us and people are telling very mean things about us. And that never happened. For me, and I have a very bad tendency to mingle with anyone new.
Okay.
I don't mind going to them, approach them or talk to them or ride with them and, probably go on to a dinner, get familiarized with them.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends in the same group, or ex-friends from the same group, were not comfortable me doing that. See, I don't mind people, coming into my life. I like making new friends. I'm like, it might be personal or it might be business. I'm like, it is always good to have a lot of friends. I mean, I have that mentality in me. So in the same sense, people were not comfortable with it. They said, okay. I backed off. Whenever there were new people who were coming, and I just said, I need to take my friend's permission before you can ride with us or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. Okay. And slowly and eventually people started hating Kishore.
Okay.
For X reasons and all. People started hating him and they didn't wanted to ride with him. Again, me being that mentality, me and my brother, we were not like that. It's a friend. He's a friend. We want to be with a friend. Be with a friend. Though he's your friend, you can't ride with him. That doesn't make sense for me.
Oh.
So I always sided with. I mean, I never sided, but I was forced to be sided with one person. I never treated one person higher or lower because he's famous or I wanted to gain attention. Yes, I do accept by getting views or subscribers through Sriman. Initially, yes, it helped. And a lot of people are still Sriman subscribers where they think that I got my fame and I left him. That is the only thing which is being circulating right now. So unfortunately, no. My marriage happened. Sriman did not come to my wedding. None of my friends came to the wedding. Because that was lockdown. That was the second lockdown where my marriage happened. And it was only 40 people who were allowed to attend the wedding. This is including the caterers or the pujaris or both side families. So 40 people included means 20 aside. Let's say
in that discount, 10 people being the priest and the cook.
So
and
my immediate family is all 14. Bas ho gaye. And I invited 2 of my childhood buddies, just 2. One is Edwin, he's in the US.
Yeah.
The other one is Aditya, whom you know. And rest all who came, they came without my invitation. They came on a risk. That is Kishore included and Archit, sorry.
Okay.
These 2 came without my invitation, and Vishal. They came without an invitation, as in they wanted to be with me. I'm actually very happy that they came. They took a risk upon themselves and they came. So after the wedding, I got a call saying that, no congratulations. I just got a call saying that, how the hell could you invite Kishore and you could not invite me? I still blame myself for giving an explanation. People need to understand, all of us are mature here. The people need to understand that it was a lockdown. It was a very serious situation back then. But in our house, we have decided that Muhurat nikale, the wedding will happen. Will not postpone it. It's not auspicious. Okay. So I come from a Brahmin family, so my family is slightly more traditional. So it is not auspicious to change the date. So it will happen. So that's how it went. And from that moment, the drift started to happen. People used to stay, and my brother is slightly tempered. So he said it was not like that. I mean, he came, we were there. What can we do? And one thing led to another, one misunderstanding led to another misunderstanding. 1 year from that moment, it was my anniversary. By that time, the lockdown has been lifted. I had my first reception or my first wedding anniversary as a reception cum Sangeet. I invited everyone. there was a misunderstanding still between all of us, all the Charan, Chaitanya, Aditya, Sriman, everyone included. But I invited everyone. I wanted to bond because these people are my friends. I mean, from the past 5 years, we used to roam every day in and out. We used to go to each other's houses for lunch, dinner. I mean, we used to do that. And all of them came except Sriman. He said some reason. I don't remember right now. And the next morning, I called him up and I asked him, why didn't you come? He said, again, some reason. After a couple of days, I met him personally. It was in, I think, Theory Cafe. It was right on the road number 10.
Okay.
The big cafe. So I met him. We spoke. Sriman came, Kishore came, Rohit came, Naresh, we call him Panda. He came, Charan came, Rohit, Sriman also came. So we met. I said, you should have come and all. But he did not come. After that, he told me, don't put it public. Don't put a photo publicly that we met. So I did not click any pictures and put anything on my Instagram. Naresh took a photo of all of us that we hung out in so-and-so place. I happened to reshare. I reshared and Sriman kept a very long Instagram story saying that you are using my fame for your own personal benefits. I think that had it for me, and I never wanted to utilize anyone's personal gains for my personal gains or anyone's fame for my personal gains. So that was the last time I spoke to Sriman. Rest all, what happened, I'm still in very good contact with Naresh Panda. Mm-hmm. We hang out, our families hang out, we go. I mean, we had a sleepover yesterday night. I mean, so rest all, the Charan, Aditya, Chaitanya, Sriman, it just broke off. It just drifted apart. I mean, from that moment, I never spoke to Sriman. Aditya, I wish him on occasions. For example, his birthday, I wish him. His mother's birthday, I'll just say congratulations. And that's about it. I mean, Charan, once in a month I talk. Mm-hmm. We don't ride, but I talk once in a month probably. I know where he is. I know his whereabouts. He knows my whereabouts. We still have concern for each other. But Sriman, no, we don't. After going such a deep lens for, it also has something called a self-respect. So I never wanted to, utilize again his fame for my gains. So that's when it break off.
But do you think something like this can be fixed? I mean, two big countries can sit down on a table and talk it out.
Yeah. See, everything can be fixed. Once you are open, both of us are open, accept each other's mistakes or each other's misunderstandings, keep it in the past, everything can be fixed.
So are you trying to say on this podcast that you are open and...
I was always open. I never shut the door off.
So if...
I never... See, this is the first time I'm saying everything in public.
Yeah.
I even though there were a lot of blames, 1.5 years right now, it all happened. 2 years, I think. I never said it was a misunderstandings. We will never speak to each other. This is what I used to reply, but I never went public with anything else. People are ready to come. I can't change myself for what people are saying. If they want to ride with me, they can ride with me. But yeah, that's about it.
I just hope I don't get any hate. It's good that you got to share your side of the story. But I hope if Sriman is watching this, I'm just a new kid on YouTube, but I hope you guys reconcile and,
See, hopefully it's not that easy because
for me, I wasn't that very young. I think we are very close in age, but for me, motovlogging scene was all you guys. It still is. I still watch all of your videos, which is why I approached you and I
see, again, I'm not a full-time YouTuber.
I know that.
Sriman and Charan, I'm not a YouTuber. YouTube is just my side hustle.
Not a hustle. I think you're doing it out of just goodwill, right?
Yeah, I just try to keep information out there as much as possible. And probably in a couple of few days, my new video will also be up where I try to explain what are the difficulties which we faced while going to Kaza. I mean, Himachal.
The recent one, right?
The recent one, yeah. Yes.
So I hope things get sorted. I really wish to see all of you guys in the same frame again. That will be a good, circle for all of us who watch all your videos. Now, done with the biking, done with this whole fiasco, we can say. Let's talk about the businesses and how your brother, while being a pilot, still takes part in some of them with you.
Rohit is actually quite occupied with his flying. Once he's gone, like pura din gaya uska. Then again next day it's the same thing. He's again flying.
So he's on a 3-day on 2-day off thing?
In a way if you put it, but it's more or less like weekly 70 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So for that, for example, because we live very far off from the airport.
Okay.
So it's a 1.5 hour drive to the airport, fly, probably 3-4 flights, again 1.5 hour drive back to home. By end of it, he's exhausted. He's done. He just wants to sleep and crash and eat.
We barely get to even see him.
Yes. I barely get to see him. I see him in the morning, or he's probably leaving the house around 6 o'clock or at times 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he's back home around 6 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
All of us are busy around 6 o'clock. We come back home 8-9 o'clock for dinner. We catch up with each other to know what happened. Then he's sleeping. I'm watching something with my wife, and I'm busy sleeping.
So then who's using the gaming console?
Whenever he's free, he's using it.
No time right now.
No, I don't. Not as of now. Not to the extent that he's using it. Because if he's free for the entire day. So that's when he sits down and use the big gaming console. But I did not play much.
So who does the whole filming and editing of your vlogs? You or him?
Me.
You do it?
I do it. I do the editing. He's very bad at editing.
But he's good at figuring out what topics to touch upon.
No, I do it.
You do the whole thing?
Yeah. I tell, अरे भाई ये video करेंगे, ये है topic, तो ये बात मत कर. That's how he say. So off camera, it's like that.
But what's it like having a brother to ride with?
It's good. It's always good. I mean, see, I think not many people can say this. I ride with my brother.
Yeah, exactly.
Your brother rides? I'm like, huh.
It actually warms my heart whenever I see brothers ride or like a father and son ride. It's a very different feeling.
So the thing is, while both of us riding, we have that, I don't know how to call it, but we have that telepathic communication. Like when I go, he knows that
You're going to build now.
Yeah, he's going to come, he's going to go. We just tail each other quite a lot, very easily. Though we did not ride much, I mean, when compared to my other friends, let's say before all the fiasco happened, I used to ride with Sriman.
Yeah.
So Rohit did not come to the rides much because of his profession. But even for the small breakfast rides, those small rides, we had the telepathic communication always. We still have it. I mean, even not only for rides. I mean, if even something is happening in the house, we just look at each other. We will understand the entire scenario in that snap.
Hum judwa hai.
Exactly. And people actually tell us that we are twins, but no.
I thought so.
He's 6 years, 3 months elder to me.
But you guys look very similar after both of you like grow out your beard and all.
Okay.
I don't think he ever shortens his beard, but
no.
But you can still see his amazing dimple through that.
नहीं थोड़ा beard में फर्क है. He doesn't have beard here.
He has that patch, but that's like a signature look.
Signature look, yeah.
That has become.
So yeah, we are six years apart.
That's nice. So before we wrap this whole thing up, your two things. One is your whole experience of doing the podcast and why you agreed to do a podcast, knowing that in this field I'm a nobody. And second thing is, what would you take away from this entire experience of coming, doing the podcast, having this conversation? And
first thing, this is the first time I am doing a podcast. First time actually like sitting on the couch. Like I'm hoping to win a gift hamper like Karan Johar. I never done like a physical podcast, but in the lockdown I have done one that is through webcam.
Okay.
I have no idea what is the title of that podcast too. Okay. And I never came up your channel, to be very honest. You approached me. You said you wanted to do certain things, and like I was like, okay, fine, because Saturday evening is always little free.
Okay.
I was like, why not? Why not? I tend to reply to people who are messaging me as much as possible. So whenever there's a good approach or anyone who's asking, I generally don't say no. I tend to, okay, fine. If you're coming to my house, okay, fine. Or if I'm coming to your place, it's also fine for me in that sense. And doing a podcast, it was lovely doing it with you. The first time, I was a nervous bit first.
Yeah.
Actually, I was not nervous while coming here, but after looking at the setup, I got a little nervous because I am a very shy, camera shy person. I'm still am. But yeah, it was talking to a friend.
Yeah. What I really enjoyed was, number one, I texted you at 6:37 in the morning. No, I texted you a day before. I think next day early morning is when you saw the message.
Yes.
And you responded, and I was like, okay, fine. It was a blind shot for me. I don't know whether this guy is going to respond to me or.
No, I tend to reply to all people who.
Yeah, but like we just discussed, social media is very different from reality. So I didn't know what's going to happen. And like, chalo karke dekhte hai. You responded, and then it was like, okay, fine. I'm actually going to. That whole thing started playing where I met you on a petrol pump, and now you're going to come down here. It started playing in my head. I'm like, no, calm your horses down. Anything can happen. I didn't even tell at home. I didn't tell anyone. Even he didn't know who's coming today. It was like surprise hai, dekho kaun aa rahe wala hai. So it's like a full circle for me today. And then my next question, like your whole takeaway from this experience.
There's a part 2. I'm ready to come.
Part 2, I feel we should do part 3. Like part 2, Rohit should come.
Okay.
And then part 3, both of you and me, or you guys use Cardo?
No, we use Senna.
Maybe we should arrange Cardos. So Cardo has this thing where we can voice record the conversation that we are having in the mesh.
Okay.
So we can do like people do like this car wala thing. Now we can do it on our bikes.
Okay.
No one's done that before. That sounds
the
fun.
thing is, buying a Senna is like, we have one.
I have one Senna.
That's it. Let it die. Then we'll buy something.
No, I bought the Senna 50S.
Okay.
Hated the audio on it. I used it on 2 rides. Didn't like it. Straight away ordered the Cardo. It's amazing.
For me, the other way around. I don't have a 50S. I have a 30K, the older generation.
Older one.
I never listened to the 50S or the Cardo because I know that is much better and I'll be tempted to buy the better one. So I always stick with 30K.
But maybe after the podcast, I'll actually let you try my Cardo. You'll love it. Trust me. You'll want to move straight away. My thing with Cardo was this. I tried it on. Next thing, put it off, texted to my friends. And
you
even
know
coming
what
from
flashes?
US,
you know what flashes? 25,000. That's it. I mean, yeah. I mean, but though, the thing is, though we have good bikes, we tend to look at where we are.
Exactly.
Because the biking world is expensive. Very expensive.
In a car, you just buy the car. Maximum उसके बाद क्या करना है?
Carpets लगाएंगे,
seat cover चढ़ाएंगे बस.
That's it.
Bike में you go on a ride, you see another guy with a jacket.
Yeah, true.
वो चाहिए.
Unfortunately, let's say you fall. खत्म. Helmet गया, gloves गए.
Car में क्या है? One crash, insurance will cover for that.
My first helmet was actually I had 2 helmets. Both my helmets are gifts. First helmet, Rohit gifted me for my ride.
Okay.
Second helmet, my school friends, they all pulled in and gifted me a helmet for my wedding.
Okay.
All of them stay in the US. I was like, haan bhai, itna, we collected 60,000 rupees in Indian rupees. What do you want? I said, I'll add an extra 10,000 rupees. Send me a Climb Krios Pro.
The helmet I want next. So, I tried it on the magnetic loop.
Yeah, it's
beauty.
I'm using it from past.
You have it with the photochromatic.
Yes, that's how you get it.
Damn good.
I don't want to change my helmet again. It's too expensive. Until someone wants to gift me one.
Maybe if this one goes viral, you never know. Okay. So thank you so much for being so kind, so sweet, so genuine, and agreeing to be on a podcast.
So much for having me.
And I know you've driven from so far. After a hectic day, you still made it a point to come down and talk.
Saturday evening, I'm bound to be in Jubilee Hills.
Keeping all of that aside, it is really very, so warm of you to actually come and do this.
Thank you so much.
So thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. If you feel this is going to help any of your friends get an understanding of bikes and other things in general, then please do share, like,
comment down below and subscribe to this channel and to my personal channel as well. The link is up top and down below as well. And see you guys on road, probably new riders. We'll see you around.